Welcome to another edition of the BPC Corporate Showcase. My name is Jack Colreavy, Associate Director at Barclay Pearce Capital, and my guest today is the Managing Director of Constance Iron, Dave Mckenzie. Thanks for joining us, Dave.
Thanks, Jack. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Let's dive straight into it. So recently you undertook a diamond drill program and you have updated resource evaluation on the Norseman Iron Ore Project. Before we jump there, let's just circle back to the RC program that you did last year at the Bonaccord, and can you remind us what the results were there?
Yeah, so at the end of the, on our maiden JORC inferred resource, we had 339.5 million tonnes in a constrained model, and then we had an additional 673 odd million tonnes in an unconstrained model within the BIF boundary, which is what gave us just over that, billion tonnes total in the inferred resource, which everybody was very excited about.
Naturally.
So now we've gone and we've finished the diamond drilling. We've come back now with an updated resource within the constrained model, which was a significant increase, something like a 64% increase, where it's now 557.5 million tonnes at an average grade of 33.73. So
yeah, wow.
Significant uplift in grade and a significant uplift to the constrained model that we have.
Yeah, perfect. Well, that's what you want to hear. Upgrade in tonnages, upgraded in grade as well. What about impurity levels as well? So
impurities have materially dropped. I think when I look back at the first JORC that we got, when we did it all up, we ended up with, as I said, just over 1 billion tonnes, and I think it was only 11.7 the grade, and we had about 10% alumina and a reasonable amount of the other impurities. In our new constrained model, the 557.5 million tonnes, we've got, I think, 2.5% alumina at 33.73 Fe, and the phos and the sulfur are negligible within that. So
yeah, perfect. I'm sure the steel smelters will love the sound of that. You haven't done too much drilling there to date in terms of the Bonaccord, and so about 50% of the tenement's done. What does the overall exploration target look like for that area?
So where we had the unconstrained part of our model before is now what we're calling the exploration target potential. So the exploration target potential for the portion of the Bonaccord project that we haven't drilled is up to 170 odd million tonnes of hematite and somewhere between 170 and 400 million tonnes of magnetite. So there's more than enough potential there to get us to the 1 billion tonnes just for the Bonaccord. So that 1 billion tonne target is still what we want to get to, but we need to drill that, obviously.
Yeah. So at the Norseman project, there's about 27 kilometres of strike, a bit under 2 kilometres of width. What percentage of the Bonaccord would you say the project is?
So the Bonaccord in its entirety represents around about 5% of the project, and we've drilled half of that. So we've drilled approximately 2.5% of the total project area. Yeah. That target project area.
And we can't forget that Lady Miller, there was a short program done last year as well, which firmed up some tonnage. But it's incredible the progress that you've made in such a short amount of time, because, the exploration target potential of the whole project was only about 1 billion tonnes not long ago. Do you have an update in regards to what the whole project looks like now?
Yeah. So back when we first started with the project, I think we're at 40 to 90 million tonnes of hematite and 360 to 980 million tonnes of magnetite. At the moment, we're looking at 1.6, 1.7 billion to just over 5 billion tonnes. So, we've gone from 1 billion total tonnes in that exploration target for the project to, 5 billion tonnes at the highest range. So it's working out perfectly for us.
Well, 5 billion tonnes of iron ore, that sounds like world class. How does it compare to other magnetite projects out there in Australia?
So I think the most recent comparison that we can make, and that's a reasonable comparison to make, is Fortescue's Iron Bridge project. They have a JORC that they released in an annual report, so it's not something that we've made up. It's something that's public record that we've had a look at. They've got just over 6 billion tonnes. We're talking 5 billion tonnes. Obviously, their JORC is in inferred, indicated and measured, so they've drilled. The majority of that project is drilled. So we've just started out with our drilling and we're already predicting 5 billion tonnes. They're at 6 billion tonnes. Their magnetite grade there is just over 30. I think it's 30.5 or something like that. They've got a little bit more aluminum than what we've got, so higher penalty elements. Our magnetite grade, as it stands at the moment with the latest JORC, is 36.1. So it's a 33.73% Fe grade overall, hematite and magnetite, but the magnetite alone is 36.1. So we've got a higher iron ore grade, and we're saying 5 billion tonnes, perhaps, when it's drilled. So that's just a comparison that we can make, and that is a world-class project. So, that's the direction that we're headed in with the Norseman project.
Yeah, I mean, that's so exciting. Still a lot of work to do, but there's huge potential there. And in terms of Iron Bridge, they're shipping a 67% very high grade concentrate, which receives a premium price.
Correct. Through a wet beneficiation process, obviously, and that aligns with our stage 2.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, very exciting times ahead. Thanks for sharing the news with us, Dave, and thanks for your time.
Thanks, Jim.
To learn more, please subscribe to the Chairman's List by clicking the link in the description below.